All in Therapy, Chapter 2. Parents as the First Mirrors. Long before we know vocabulary, we know reflection. Children don't learn who they are by looking inward. They learn who they are by watching the faces of the adults who look back at them. A parent's eyes are the earliest mirrors we ever encounter, and their expressions become the quiet blueprint of how we come to understand ourselves. A baby laughs and the room lights up. The baby learns, my joy matters. I bring warmth. A baby reaches out and is ignored. The baby learns, my needs are too much, I must shrink. A toddler throws a tantrum and is punished harshly. They learn, big emotions are dangerous. I must hide my intensity. A toddler cries and someone scoops them up with tenderness. They learn, I am safe to need. I am allowed to feel. The first mirror is more powerful than we ever realize. Parents rarely understand the magnitude of their role. They imagine they are feeding, teaching, guiding, but psychologically they are doing something far more profound. They are reflecting a child's worth back to them, day after day, glance after glance. Every sigh, smile, frown, and gesture becomes a piece of the child's internal self-portrait. The child doesn't think, Mom is stressed today. The child thinks, something is wrong with me. The child doesn't think, Dad is emotionally unavailable. The child thinks, I must not be worth connecting with. How we adapt to the mirror. Children are wired for survival, not self-expression. They will reshape themselves to maintain connection. If a parent smiles at achievement, the child becomes an achiever. If a parent softens only when the child is sick, the child learns illness as a doorway to tenderness. If a parent withdraws when the child cries, the child learns to swallow their pain. If a parent is inconsistent, the child learns to forecast moods like storms. These adaptations are intelligent, necessary, protective, and often lifelong. The paradox of parenting. Parents love imperfectly because they were shaped by imperfect mirrors. This is not blame, this is inheritance. We inherit our parents' unhealed wounds as easily as their eye color. The emotional climate of the household. Every home has a climate. Children learn to read these climates with the sensitivity of meteorologists. In calm homes, children develop trust. In chaotic homes, hyper-awareness. In silent homes, unanswered questions. In loud homes, protective roles. And the body remembers long after. When love is present but imperfect. Even the most loving homes contain misunderstandings. Even the most dysfunctional homes contain devotion. Childhood is rarely simple, it is a blend of beauty and ache. The mirror that stays with us. The reflections we receive become the voices we use on ourselves. You're not enough. You have to be strong. Don't bother anyone. You are capable, loved, worthy. All mirror. The first sphere of therapy. Parents are our first therapists, not through insight, but through influence. They teach us how to love, fear, trust, and survive. Stepping forward from the mirror. As we grow, the mirror expands to include teachers, friends, bullies, mentors, but none influence as deeply as the first. This is where the therapy begins. Here are two stories that highlight parents as first mirrors. The piano bench. When Mara was 6, she practiced a simple song on the piano. Every time she hit a wrong note, her father winced. Not loudly, not angrily, just a tiny tightening around his eyes. Mara learned to watch his face more than her hands. When she played well, he relaxed. When she faltered, he tensed. Years later, as an adult, Mara noticed she scanned people's faces when she spoke, looking for signs of disappointment before she even finished her sentences. One day, a friend asked gently, "Why do you look at me like you're waiting to be corrected?" Mara realized she wasn't waiting for correction. She was waiting for her father's face. The piano bench had taught her to monitor before expressing. Our next story, the Overpacked Backpack. When Jordan was 8, his mother worried constantly. She packed his backpack with extras, snacks, sanitizer, tissues, an umbrella, a second umbrella just in case. Her worry wrapped him like layers he could not remove. Jordan learned the world was dangerous, unpredictable, full of invisible threats. As an adult, he struggled to relax. He double-checked locks. He reread messages before sending them. He over-prepared for everything. One afternoon, a coworker laughed kindly and said, "Jordan, you're the most prepared person I've ever met." He smiled, but inside he felt a strange ache. Preparedness had been love in his house. Preparedness had been safety. And in that moment, he saw clearly he was still carrying his mother's fear, just in an adult-sized backpack. Please consider subscribing to our channel, The Healing Human Project, as the journey continues with Chapter 3 of All in Therapy.